Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to our YouTube channel. My name's Chris,
What's going on, guys? I'm Angel.
and in today's episode, we're going to talk about this guy right here, Fierce Deity Link. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Arguably one of the best 3D Zelda games that ever came out is Majora's Mask. That was actually the first one that I played because I grew up in the late 90s and that was the first one that we bought for the N64, I think. Oh no, it was the second one. I think the first was Ocarina. I remember it had like the whole 3D effect cover. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was the first one that I played, at least. And I always thought it was kind of cool because it had like a creepy tone to it. That creepy mask salesman that comes out in the beginning. Is he the one that turns you into a tree?
No, the one that turns you into the Deku scrub is the Skull Kid. Basically, the game starts off that the Skull Kid steals a mask from the mask salesman, and since the mask is cursed, I guess it makes him do like these mischievous things. Link happened to be passing by, and he scares off Epona, steals his ocarina and his horse, and then he curses Link, turns him into a Deku scrub. I've actually always been a fan of Ocarina of Time, but I still love Majora's Mask. My only complaint would be that Majora's Mask felt a little short in comparison to Ocarina of Time, since Ocarina of Time has 8 dungeons and Majora's Mask only has 4, because back in the day, I believe cartridges used to cost like $80. I mean, even though I didn't buy it myself, I think it was my mom that bought it, but I felt kind of cheated because, I was like, what, only 4 dungeons?
I always thought it was kind of cool. It could turn into the different races, I guess, that they have in the Zelda universe. The Gorons, the Zorons. I was gonna say the sea people, sea monkeys. Zoras. Is it Zora or Zordon? That sounds like the Transformers. Isn't that the lady from the? Let's say the Terminator, the Power Rangers.
You turn into the Gorons or the Zordons.
I mean the Zoras.
It's morphin' time.
Did you ever see that meme where he's like in the hospital bed with morphine?
The Morphine Power Rangers. But back on topic though. Yeah, I always thought, the whole mask concept was pretty cool, transforming into whatever race you want it to be. The best, of course, being Fierce Deity Link. He was like a god. I remember the first time I saw his transformation, I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. That's basically why I decided to make a model of him, since they recently released Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think they added the Fierce Deity Link costume in that game. I was a little disappointed with the amiibo figures because they didn't do an actual Fierce Deity Link amiibo. They did when Link is still a kid holding the Deku mask, and so I was kind of disappointed about that, so I decided to make my own in a way, and that's when I started to model this.
So how do you even get the mask? I remember it was like an unlockable. It was like a secret mask or whatever. I think you had to get all the other masks before that one was unlocked.
Yeah, you basically have to get all the masks in the game, and then somehow you end up on the moon with some kids playing. And you play hide and you play hide and seek, and the one that's wearing Majora's masks ends up giving you the Fierce Deity mask. They re-released it on the 3DS. Have you gotten a chance to play the remake, I guess?
Yeah, but I have the old 3DS, so I don't have the little nipple nub, the second thumbstick, so it's kind of awkward to play with it. Yeah, it's kind of putting me off. That's why I haven't beat it. I beat it on the Nintendo 64.
I actually have the new 3DS, and it's kind of useless or pointless, I guess, because it feels kind of awkward to move the camera with it because it's not an actual button slider thing. It's just stuck there, so it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything. But I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. But yeah, I actually haven't beaten it on my 3DS yet. I have so many games to play that I haven't gotten around to it, but I definitely want to beat it again, because the last time I beat it was years ago. But yeah, this Fierce Deity Link is one of my favorite characters from the Zelda universe. They pretty much brought him in different kinds of games. Like, he came out in Hyrule Warriors, which I thought was pretty cool. He looks pretty cool in that game. And then, like I said before, they brought him out in Breath of the Wild as unlockable costume through the amiibo. And where else did he come out in? Maybe Smash Bros, I'm not sure.
So how long did it take you to model Link?
It actually took me a pretty long time to model Link. I think it took me about a month, but I wasn't working on him every day, and there was a point where I was almost done with him, and for some reason ZBrush kept crashing on me. I thought I wasn't going to be able to save the file, but I think it was one of the subtools that had an error. What I ended up doing was I exported every single subtool that was letting me. Once I got to the damaged file, you know, ZBrush just crashed every time I highlighted that subtool. So I pretty much just exported every subtool. I imported it into a new file, and I was able to start again from where I left off, but I lost a couple subtools that I couldn't get to. That kind of delayed the process a little bit.
I really like the armor. How did you do that?
Well, the armor was one of the, I think, hardest parts of modeling Link, because this was actually the first hard surface type of modeling that I did. So it took me a little while. It took me a little while to model the armor, because you know, I had to watch all these YouTube videos on how to do hard surface modeling, how to model armor, and there wasn't really a lot of reference images on Fierce Deity Link. His armor changes so much from all the games. All the reference images that I saw, like, you know, artwork and stuff like that, the armor was all kind of different. I mean, it was the same, it was similar, but different. So it was kind of hard to get good reference images of his armor, so I kind of just eyeballed it, and so that was like the really hard part of the modeling process for me.
What you're saying is that it's same but different, but still same. And just so you guys know, this is the first time that we ever cut up a model, so it would be able to print out in different pieces, and we could actually make it bigger that way, so it wouldn't be just I think 4 inches is the limit that our printer has. So yeah, how did you do that?
So yeah, when I cut up Link into several pieces, I basically had to Dynamesh all the pieces, and then I used the Dynamesh sub to subtract, like when you merge two subtools together, and then you subtract whatever you want from one part of the model to the other, and it basically indents whatever pieces you wanted to subtract from. And that's pretty much how I did it with, like, the arms, the legs, his head are all separate pieces. The first time that we printed the model, we printed it all in one piece. Since our printer prints out in like 4.5 inches max, I think, it printed out about the size of a regular amiibo. I thought it was a little too small to sand it and make it polished.
Yeah, and then the bad thing about that too was, I think the hands were falling apart, or the legs, like everything broke apart. I don't know if maybe it had to do with the settings. The first time we tried to sand it, the arms fell off, and then the hands, and then I think it broke in half. It's just terrible experience.
That's why we decided to make it into separate pieces, so we can make it bigger and, you know, easier for us to sand and primer and paint. So after we printed it out and sanded it and did all that stuff, I passed it on to my girlfriend as usual, and she painted it with the airbrush gun, and all the little details she painted with the brush. Compared to an amiibo, it's about 10 inches tall. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, so that was our take on Fierce Deity Link, and here's a comparison with the regular amiibo. As you can see, it's a lot bigger.
Yeah,
that's what she said. And yeah, go.
So as usual, just like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and as always, see you next time.